we begin, of course, with some soccer, and let's get started with the Copa America 2-0 final, as many predicted yesterday. Argentina defeats Canada, and in a game like this, you would call it not particularly close. They score 2 goals. Canada scores none. Julian Alvarez scored in the first half. Leo Messi scored in the second half. In fact, Messi was scoreless through Argentina's 5 Copa America matches, suffering a right groin adductor injury, but he has returned, and he played well yesterday. And so now Argentina will play in the Copa America final on Sunday in South Florida. They await the Colombia-Uruguay game, which will be played tonight. And we will, of course, discuss that at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. All of the action will be covered for you right here on Pharrell and in-game live tonight. Uruguay, Colombia, semifinals tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern. Over in the Euro Cup, Spain defeats France by a final of 2-1. In fact, France took the lead within 10 minutes, but Spain responded with 2 goals in quick succession, 15 minutes to take the lead, and they never gave it back. Big story here. 16-year-old player Lamine Yamal, 16 years old on Spain, had a goal in this game, and it turned out to be the equalizer. Spain has now won all 6 games at the Euro 2024 and are trying to win for the 4th time in the championship. The semifinals, in terms of who they will play, will be determined today. 3 o'clock Eastern, Netherlands and England in the Euro semifinals. 3 o'clock Eastern today. Another match we'll watch for you live here on SportsGrid later this afternoon and throughout the evening. Big story from Team USA in the Olympics as they get ready to play Serbia on July 28th. One player and an NBA champion is not going to be on the roster. Kawhi Leonard, according to several published reports, has pulled out of Team USA. He's gone out of the Olympics for an injury. There are some reports that Derek White of the Boston Celtics could potentially replace him on the roster. Still working through that. This just happened within the last hour. Kawhi Leonard, one of the greats of the game, not playing on Team USA in the Olympics, releasing a statement essentially that they'll have to replace him in Paris this summer. Also, yesterday, very interesting note in the National Football League. For some reason, the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott, was seen in a walking boot. Now, naturally, this is going to get a lot of attention because, again, this is just OTAs. But essentially, at this point, this is just to protect his foot, apparently. Needless to say, it brings up a lot more questions than answers.
Yeah, I'm great. Honestly, I'm getting older. It's the same ankle, right, that I snapped and had a nasty surgery on 4 years ago. So, a couple of hard days of training, and, you get a little sore, and then you're going on a fishing trip, and you want to protect it and make sure that things don't get worse. So, literally, it's absolutely nothing. That's why I said people are reaching, trying to make things that they aren't. I'm getting older, have to take care of my body, have to be smart. And if I can take precautions and lessening something by putting on a boot, I'm going to do it. And so, sorry that it caused such a whirlwind.
All right, 34 years old. I guess it does make sense. If indeed that is the truth, Dak Prescott will open up with NFL training camps. They all begin later this month, and the Hall of Fame game, folks, is the first day in August this year. Early start for the NFL preseason. Can't wait for that. Okay, the Cincinnati Reds couldn't wait for the debut of Rece Hinds. Maybe they should have called him up earlier in the season. Another huge game for Hinds yesterday. First player ever with 5 extra base hits in his first 2 games. He homered again and fell 1 single shy of the cycle. So talk about rookie success. My gosh, the fans in Cincinnati absolutely loving it. Last night, Jose Ramirez of the Cleveland Guardians became the second player to get intentionally walked 3 times and have 3 hits in a game since Major League Baseball started tracking this in 1955. Cleveland beat Detroit 9-8 in 10 innings, and also Cleveland announced that Jose Ramirez is going to participate in the Home Run Derby on Monday night. They still need to fill that roster out with 2 more players. The Dodgers placed Tyler Glasnow on the 15-day injured list. He'll spend some time resting during the All-Star break. Obviously, you're not going to pitch in the All-Star game, so he'll need to be replaced. Zach Wheeler also left last night's game in the same affair with some back tightness. He will probably need to be replaced in the All-Star game as well, though Bryce Harper did return in that game last night. And now we go to a story that nobody ever wants to talk about, that's for sure, me either. Tampa Bay Rays shortstop Wander Franco, you may have heard about this about a year ago, maybe a little bit less. issues with some domestic issues, of course, in the Dominican Republic. Well, now he has been formally charged with sexual abuse and sexual exploitation against a minor in the Dominican Republic. And reporters in the DR are also saying child trafficking is potentially one of the charges against Wander Franco, who faces a very lengthy jail sentence if indeed he is convicted. Okay, a lot of kids in camp all over the country. So camp day across the WNBA today. Lots of afternoon games, in fact, coming up at 12 Eastern. New York Liberty, Connecticut Sun, one of the games on tap. Atlanta Dream versus the Chicago Sky. And one of the marquee games always, because the Indiana Fever is playing, it's the Washington Mystics and the Indiana Fever. Those are some of the games coming up. We mentioned Kawhi Leonard, not surprised. Paul George left the Clippers. George said yesterday he was disrespected. Team USA's final exhibition game against Canada is tonight. Kevin Durant not going to play, so short Kawhi, short Durant. I mean, Team USA may have to pick up a couple of guys. Former Timberwolves employee has avoided a jail sentence for gross misdemeanor charge of unauthorized computer access, according to ESPN. Naturally, this is a story we'll follow for you as well. All right, now a big story in the world of sports betting. We talked about a company that was very popular outside of the United States called Betway. They entered the United States for sports betting when it became legal. They have decided this morning, according to Legal Sports Report, that they are out of USA. So those of you who are betting on Betway or ever have, you may want to get that money out because they are departing. Novak Djokovic advances to Wimbledon semifinals as the opponent that he was going to face, Alec de Minaur, ended up withdrawing with a hip injury. De Minaur is from Australia. He was seeded 9th in the tournament. He announced he's pulling out of the tournament just hours before he and Djokovic were supposed to face off at center court. So Djokovic essentially with a day of rest, not having to play today at Wimbledon. Brett Favre is trying to sue Shannon Sharpe. He's been trying to do this for a while. He asked a federal appeals court on Tuesday to revive a defamation lawsuit against against Sharpe, former tight end, amidst a backdrop of a Mississippi welfare scandal, one of the state's largest public corruption cases. Essentially, I'll break it down for you. Favre does not like what Shannon Sharpe had to say about him, so he's suing. And also, this sort of surprising, Hurricane Beryl, and I'm all too familiar with hurricanes here in South Florida. This one was just going all around the country and ended up hitting the United States here in Texas and hit NRG Stadium, suffering damage to its roof, very similar to Hurricane Ike back in 2008. And the Texans play a home game against the Baltimore Ravens in September of 2008, which caused a postponement. No word on what will happen, but there's a lot of time to get the stadium ready, I would assume, for the opening night for the Houston Texans this season. They're expected to have a big year as well.